So today I went to grease the machine. Even I greased it when I was assembling it, but ball screws I could grease with my finger, but two bearings that hold ball screw in place I could not grease, so my plan was to try to use this. I ground the tip of needle or syringe, I don't know how it's called precisely. So I ground the tip, and idea was to push the little ball and to press this, but this does not work, so I needed to make something so I can grease my machine because I cannot use it. So I had this 4mm tube that I got with my Quantum manual lathe before, I don't know, 5 years, and this brass part was molded or glued, I don't know, in plastic, and that plastic part broke, so I saved this, and I got idea first to press fit brass in this, but I could not make it work, so I got idea to cut thread, because this is 4mm in diameter, and I cut thread 4mm on this brass tube, and luckily hole in this fitting was 3.5mm, so I managed to cut thread only with first from 3 tools for cutting thread, and this works okay. Only thing is that this manual is very bad, so I managed to insert cartridge inside, but I do not understand how to make. I managed to pump some grease, but I have some air inside, so when I press, sometimes I get grease, sometimes I do not get. But the thing is that this tip is good, so I can press the ball, and pump makes so much pressure that it pushes grease actually inside of lubrication point. So this is, I will make some pictures of manual. So this is the brand Pistol Grip grease gun. So I bought two, one for power chuck, and in one box I got this manual, so bulk loading, suction filling, and this one I get this one, and anyway, it's not detailed enough at all. So this is it. I thought it's 2 times smaller than it is actually, but it's not problem. The most important thing is this. So I will try to remove air somehow. Will try to understand what. So I did this. Remove the gun head. This is that part. Draw back the plunger handle entirely. This is that part, and before you insert cartridge you have resistance of spring inside that you need to push, and it's little bigger load than you expected, than I expected. So insert open end of cartridge into container tube and push it all the way. I did it. Remove the seal. I did it. Reassemble the gun head to the container tube. That is that part. Press the catch plate and release the piston rod. Press the catch plate. So when I press catch plate, this is that part, I can move this. It's little resistant. And release the piston rod. Pull down the plunger handle. Pull down. Draw back plunger rod fully and release quickly. Plunger, that is probably this. Draw back plunger rod fully and release quickly. Repeat 2 or 3 times. This will help exert force to remove the rubber ring to enter the... I do not understand really. Push plunger rod all the way in, tighten the head to the barrel. Your grass gun, it is important that you extend gun handle fully. Gun handle. If your gun fails to work, it is due to air pockets in the gun. To remove the air, unscrew the gun head 1 to 1.5 turns and repeat step 6 to 7. So, as I said, I managed to pump some, but currently, so this is air. This is air. Now when every time I pump, I should have grease, but I have air, so need to play with this. But this is grease gun. So I unscrewed the top part because I have feeling that rubber part that pushes grease in cartridge is not entered in tube, so maybe because of that it does not work. So this is big hole, and thing is that inside is like rubber piston that should push grease in this part where is piston which I compress when I do this with handle. So I had some feeling that something will happen, and maybe it will happen. So I managed to remove cartridge that I inserted. It's brand new, and inside is hole from this rod, and thing is that this black part should enter inside, so this black rubber piston should enter in this white part. So I'm not sure why it does not enter, so what is the problem. So I decided to show what is going on. I think that I'm playing with this at least 3 hours now totally. So I read manual and I understand what need to be done, and I thought that I had problem with pocket of air, but I have problem that this cartridge, it has 2 sides. One side is like you open can, and another one you open normally, and that side you open normally, and you first you do this, you pull this all the way, and this should lock like this, and after that you need to, this side which is not opened like a can, you need to push inside, and after that you need to screw it back on this part. And I did all that, and I have feeling that air grease is not coming in this, because I was able to pump grease only when I was moving this tiny rod up and down, because in that way I managed to push some little amount of grease here, so when I press this piston was able to push some grease. And now is problem that when I have cartridge open from both sides, when I do this, so this cartridge should slide over this black seal piston. I don't know how to call it correctly, but let's call it rubber piston. So when I push cartridge this, I'm moving piston down, and thing is that piston needs to enter inside of this plastic cartridge, so it can push grease towards this part. So probably I would be able to use grease with no problems to remove all grease from cartridge and pack it in this tube, but that is stupid, really. So this is problem that I have. And even what I did something like this. I push this, and this was locked, and my idea was to with hammer tap it and to slide this over the ring, but what happened is there is big spring inside. Spring shut out this cartridge, and luckily it fell here on cardboard. So I always have some problems. I did not expect to have this kind of problems, but when grease is inside of gun it works okay, but problem is how to, I understand what is written in manual, but how to, why it does not want to enter inside. So what can I take to, I can take this, so when I press, so now I'm pressing the rubber piston, and that piston should enter in cartridge. And thing is that it does not want to enter in cartridge, and it even says draw back plunger rod fully and release quickly. Repeat 2 or 3 times. This will help exert force to move the rubber ring to enter the cartridge, which is essential for grease gun to work. And this is why my grease gun does not work, because rubber ring does not enter the cartridge. So this is it. So I will record again when I figure out what to do. So I took nice clean piece of paper to plug the opening, and took this, but took this, and it does not help. So it does not help really, even when I now I have the biggest force from spring, and even now it does not want to enter in plastic. So it's possible to see that it did not enter. Let's see now. Is it inside? No, it's not inside. So it's really frustrating. How much time I spent for not accomplishing nothing. And really stupid. So I had idea to remove this nut, take out the rubber seal, press it inside, and then I cannot remove it maybe. But maybe it will work even like that. Maybe it will work even like that. So let's try that. So first I need to... So this is my spare tube. Let's try like this. So I was pushing grease inside in order not to throw it in garbage. First I pressed few times because there was already some unknown grease in gun, so that squirted in garbage. But this one is good grease. Good grease, but stupid gun. Or I'm stupid, I don't understand what is going on. So we need key. And when I do this, it does not go easy. It does not go easy. So we'll stop with recording because I will spend complete battery. So I wanted to remove, so this is big spring, so I wanted to remove not on this side, but I managed to unscrew the handle, which is kind of better thing. So now I want to see, will this stupid piston enter in cartridge. I do not have good feeling. Well, here it is. Here it is. Oh my god. I don't know. I do not know, is this okay? If it is, then something is very strange. Oh. Okay. And I have a lot of grease down, but that is not problem. That is not problem. But gun is stupid as I do not know. So now I need to assemble this. And I think I will get nervous breakdown. Why this does? Now I have a lot of grease on paper, but that is not problem. I will scoop it. So we'll shut down battery again. So I managed to stuck it on this main part, but thing is that I'm now full of grease, so now I need to degrease it so I can tighten it. So I will wipe it with acetone so I can clean this. So my hands are also. So what I did, I took this, like this was on this cardboard, and I was pushing down, and I need to need to push it like that grease does not enters out, and as you want to screw it you have larger and larger force, so I was not able to push all the way because everything was so greasy and little grease escaped out, but I returned it in this spare tube, and I have this also to put somewhere so I can use it. Anyway, now need to degrease it so I can tighten it properly, and see, will rubber piston will enter in this, or it entered, but I'm not sure, it's too big diameter, so maybe it will not slide as it should be. Really did not expect it, something like this. So now I removed grease from metal tube so I can try to pump to see. So every time when I press it, grease needs to come out, and when I do not press, it does not need. It needs to stop immediately, and when you have air pockets, trapped air will push grease even if you do not press this. So now it works. So this is it. I feel that it works okay. So the problem was to insert them rubber seal in plastic cartridge. So it is designed to take cartridge, but thing is that problem is to insert it. And that's it. Now I can try to grease machine. So I tried grease gun and it works. So I'll show, or will try to show if I manage to come. So need to wipe this a little bit and come here and press this inside of, and I'm pressing the handle and it goes in. And now lower one. Also it comes in, and now ball screws. Also it comes in, and I grease the cable. Anyway, with syringe and needle it's impossible to do this because you need to have so big pressure that tip of syringe comes up. So again, even if I manage to press the rubber seal in plastic cartridge, I have problem because I think that it's too big friction, and this does not, spring does not push grease towards this mechanism that presses grease inside. So maybe I will need to remove cartridge in this metal container and use a gun like that, because this is really stupid. I really do not understand how somebody could make this an instruction. It says put cartridge inside. So this is really stupid. I don't know how many times to say stupid. So I hear how spring is pushing little by little, so plastic cartridge is still inside, so it works. And what also happened on this screw, grease started to come out, so I don't know, will that influence on work, but currently plastic cartridge is inside and gun works as it should be, but it's not so good as it should work. So we'll continue to grease. I was on X ball screw and I was pumping and nothing, I feel nothing, so